Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Now it does seem that Kabam will not let me go to sleep tonight because we definitely have an unexpected surprise from Kabam, and that is coming in form of a new and unique Carina challenge, introducing something new, Carina's Trial 747. So I will break down the post. And I know that there will be a lot of people who will not be happy with this post as well. And therefore, I will try to kind of separate that because I do understand why some people will be displeased with it. However, I do think what Kabam is trying to do here will kind of also somewhat make sense. But let's just break it down. What is it all about? When does it start? What are the rewards and everything else? So, a number of designers were discussing how much fun and new account challenges are. We brainstormed some ideas that could infuse some of that feeling into the game without actually requiring a new account. Carina's Trial 747 represents one of those ideas. It will challenge players to complete every quest in Act 7 only using 7-star champions. The idea is that players who want to undertake the challenge will have to make do with what they have as they expand their 7-star roster, often lacking ideal counters and top meta champions. We are hoping it will feel similar to trying to work your way through Act 6 on a new account. I personally like that. I do think, especially right now, it's perfect time to release it because 7-star rosters are still fairly limited for vast majority of the accounts. And it will also kind of make sense a bit further. Also, keep in mind, Act 7 is easy. Act 7 is not a hard piece of content. The only thing that kind of bothers me here is that it's complete every quest in Act 7. It means it's going to be 24 parts and all of the final bosses and everything else. And that is always the tricky part because you do need to remind yourself how to do it. However, I know that I'm definitely going to be doing it. I like fun, challenging things, something that will end up forcing you to use some of your items, because let's face it, solo content in general has been extremely stale in the game. We're going to get like Act 8.3 in 18th, and, I can tell you for a fact that I'm going to not use more than a handful revives, probably just on the final boss, because I'm going to be practicing and rushing and trying to make a guide for it. Story content doesn't really require any resources anymore, nor does, new things like we got the brutal DLX challenge that was advertised to be super hard. Wasn't really. It was definitely doable itemless. We have Paragauntlet, which also was, relatively quick and painless. Therefore, if I do end up using some resources on this stuff, that's fine. My only kind of thought is about how long it will be. Let's move forward. It's a new concept for us, and so we wanted to be cautious on how it was implemented. As a result, the rewards were deliberately tuned to not feel mandatory. It's a challenge for those summoners who will enjoy the challenge, but it's something that can be safely skipped for those who aren't interested. This is by design. And I'm kind of okay with it. Like, realistically, I'm the type of player that was going to do it regardless, and I love better rewards. But Kabam's approach here also makes sense, because you never know, something can go wrong. There might be some quests or paths that are potentially undoable or whatnot. And if Kabam makes these rewards, a way to acquire, I don't know, a rank 3 7-star or 5 rank 2 7-stars or something, then it will cause a lot of dismay in the community. I also think if people are receiving these things well, it will incentivize Kabam to do more of this stuff, potentially better rewards, or even if it's with more symbolic rewards, like in this case, it's just something fun to do. Something that you don't have to do, but something that you can do, should you choose to. And let's face it, all of these things eventually get outdated anyways, right? Like, how many of you are rushing to explore Carina challenges number 1? Those rewards are largely relevant for any larger accounts. You do handful of the easiest challenges, and then you just leave them there, because the reward that we had for Carina challenge number 3 or number 2 are just not worth the effort anymore. This approach, I think, kind of could be helpful for newer accounts as well, because you're progressing through. Initially, maybe you don't explore Act 7, you just complete it or do some quests. And then when your account is bigger, you can go back at it when 7-star champions are more common and just get some extra stuff. So why not? Anyways, complete all objectives to earn a total of 18,000 7-star shards, 5,000 Titan crystal shards, and 3 million gold and an emote. Now, again, I personally wish there was a bit more to it. There was like a rank up resource or something to it. But I can kind of get it why Kabam's being so cautious. And yeah, hopefully it's going to be something fun to do. Now, a lot of people don't need these type of things because this game offers a lot as is, and I have heard quite a lot of complaints that, don't have time to do all this stuff, and, that can be true. But I also have heard people that just don't particularly enjoy battlegrounds, and they are quite upset that there isn't maybe necessarily enough for them if you're not heavily into Alliance or battlegrounds. And I think objectives like these, where you can choose to do them, can choose to do something else, where you can combine it with exploration of Act 7, are cool. I genuinely like the idea. And now this content is permanent and can be completed for rewards one time. It will be releasing with the new content on October the 4th. Please let us know what you think. Additionally, if you have any similar ideas for challenges, please let us know. We will consider them for future content. And there we go. So now the big question is, what do I do tomorrow? What do you guys want me to do tomorrow? Because I think this is going to be more fun and interesting than streaming the new Thronebreaker event quest and the Paragauntlet thing. But I'm definitely interested. What are your guys' thoughts? What would you prefer me to stream? The new, monthly content and side quest and all that stuff with Steve, or the screen challenge? I definitely look forward to doing both, and I will be doing both, and I will definitely be doing the screen challenge as quickly as possible, because it's a full 7-star crystal. Would love to open that, getting more Titan crystal shards, especially now that the Titan crystal pool is updated. That feels quite awesome as well. And now we have comments of nice, complete, or explore. And I'm not kidding when I saw this is the coolest challenge I have ever seen in the game. I absolutely adore this, and I hope for similar stuff in the future. Yeah, me too. I hope for more of this stuff. Rewards could be better make them mandatory as per your rewards rather than being soft on them. Permanent content. I kind of agree with this. I would prefer if the rewards are better, but I still consider this as a win. And I definitely like better rewards for it, because again, 24 paths, and you will have to do every single one of the, tougher bosses. You're gonna have to do the Gwenperian, you're gonna have to do both Kangs, and it will not necessarily be easy. And here we go. I like anything new and original, and I kind of feel the same, especially since how stale the whole solo content is outside of like battlegrounds and incursions. There's just not much happening in terms of like, new Abyss or new Grandmaster's Gauntlet or something else and stuff like that. And even Act 8, as I said, has lost a lot of its, meaning. I was looking forward to the release of 7.1 or 6.4 a lot more than I am for Act 8.3, for instance. Because I know I'm just going to run through it with hardly any items. It's going to be quite easy. It's going to be, reasonably fine or fun, but nothing that challenges or excites you. This type of stuff, though, again, it's something brand new. It's something a bit more original, and I like it. So here we are. Definitely let me know your thoughts. Definitely let me know which one you would prefer me to stream first, because we obviously do need to make a choice. And we'll have to see what I can do with my 7-star roster. Now, my 7-star roster is far from awful, but my most recent 7-star luck has been quite trash as well. There's going to be quite a few champions that I definitely, ain't going to be doing much with. So, I can already immediately tell that, I'm going to be using a ton of Hulk, Chavez, and Photo. think those are like the 3 most likely heroes. And hopefully, well, I actually need to start thinking like who is going to be good for Kangs and stuff like that. I definitely look forward to it. That's the point. I think it's exciting. And the last point that I wanted to mention here is I do understand that there will be people who possibly are frustrated with this. If you are free to play, if you do have only, let's say, 6 or 5, 7 stars or something like that, then obviously the difficulty level of this challenge, feels so much higher. And it'll probably be more expensive, and it'll probably be yet another thing that feels that people are missing out on. So, at the same time, I just don't really know the solution for it. I don't think things like that should dissuade Kabam from trying new things. And as a concept, being forced to use only 7 stars because you have very limited amount of, champion pool, I think it's cool. Let me know what you think either way, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about